Wala kami makita doon, cloudy. Okay. Oo. Morning. Simula na po ang bakbakan dito sa Gray Owl Trail. Wala kami makita doon, cloudy, foggy. Dito tayo sa west wind.
Grey Owl was a conservationist years ahead of his time. He came to understand that there was a need to better appreciate wild country, the animals that lived there, and the original native inhabitants of the land. Grey Owl was an Englishman who grew up in the south of Britain who wanted to be a Red Indian. He comes here to the Temagami region, and it resulted in his conservation outlook. Even though when he died the world discovered that he wasn't a First Nation, it didn't matter, because it's not a story of deception. It's a story of a boy with a dream who discovered something magical in the wilderness, who wanted to share it with the world.
He was one of the first environmentalist conservationists that came at the right time. They only had good things to say about him. Even after they found out he wasn't a Native person, they still respect him because he did do everything a Native man could do, and better than some probably.
I think that if I close my eyes and, to go within and to try to see this man and to feel his spirits and his essence, what I feel is a man that, there's a strength there.
He came to the conclusion that native culture was as fragile as the forest and the wildlife that was here, and yet in some ways it was also the solution. That if he could make people see the world from a First Nation perspective, they would respect the land, the wildlife, and each other. And that was his message to the world. And the mountains looked on in stony calmness, for they knew that trees must die and so must men, but they lived on forever. The message I take from that is, we have a great impact on the way wild country will grow. And despite us, the land will still be here. But we have the choice to live in beauty or not. He had this great sense of time and how things change and how things grow and are affected by different influences. What he found then was a lot of logging going on. And this really concerned him. And this became one of the driving forces in his life to make people realize that nature isn't here just for human exploitation, that actually we have a duty of care over wild country. He also made people aware of the plight of the beaver and was very significant in changing attitudes towards the beaver.
The preservation of the beaver at that point when Grey Owl arrived is that they're almost gone, they're almost extinct. Is one of the things the beaver does. He builds the dams, and the dams are like filtration systems that actually filter the water. So we have a lot to be thankful for him to bringing the awareness and what the beaver does for the ecosystem.
It is special when you come here. You touch nature in a very profound way, and it touches you.
My people, the younger generation, feel how he felt. There's no place more powerful than being on the land and the water itself. When you touch Mother Earth as she always was, it's such a lift in your life that it gives you a lot of support and powers.
The maintaining of the spirit of land is really key, because what it is, it's going to preserve life.
He was preserving the land, we had to have that in order to survive.
We are on the turning point of a mass extinction that is being blamed on human activity. So if ever there was a time when his message carries weight, it's now. I think when it comes to wild country, I think wild country is beyond country borders. We're dealing with issues that are global. And although here I am as a stranger in this land, travelling in it, my understanding of nature makes me feel completely at one with this country. The skills of the bush connect you to the land in a very, very tight way. This is something Grey Owl learned. And I think this is what we need to teach our youth. We need to train them to appreciate nature in an absolutely grassroots way. That's where it starts. And then those youth, when they rise to positions of importance in the world, will take greater care in the way they do business.
Oh, this is fun.
It's obvious. The question is not what we get out of nature, but what can we give back to nature.
There's more. Wait. Drop it. And 3.1 kilometers to go. We're almost there.